welcome. So here we are in Module 4. And in Module 4, we're dealing with the array. Eventually we'll deal with a two-dimensional array. But hoping that you watched the video, the lecture video, prior to this. Now, in the lecture video, we dealt with this array class that they created for us. Now, if we look here, we understand that this is an array of sorts. We're acting as if we have an array, but the reality is we're creating a list. It's not functionally a true array, but it's the closest we can come with the built-in functionality of Python. So with that said, and given that we've talked about this already, this is a class. When we create an instance of this class, that object that we're creating is passed in. This is the constructor, it's the init function. And when we construct an object by calling this function, which technically is being called with array, it happens right here in line 52. What will happen then is we run or execute this function. It gets an implicit name of the variable. We don't even need a name. It's just which object are we talking about? The one we're creating. We need a capacity. There is no default value, but there is a default value of none for fill value. So there's one value that we need to pass, and they pass the number 10. In the directions, modify the init function. See the two underscores front and back. That means it's built in. Use that method, or modify that method, to add an instance variable called logical size. Well, I don't want to misspell anything, so I'll just copy it from right there. Now, where are we going to put it? Well, right here is about the best place. Here's where we're creating the object of items from the list. And there's nothing really there. We'll paste logical size, and they said it equals 0, but what we also need is this right here, because we can't just arbitrarily say set logical size equal to 0. Well, it's a logical size attribute associated with this object that we're creating. So we have to have that explicit self in there, so it knows what it is that we're pointing to. All right, beyond that, they want us to define a size method. So, you know what, let's come down to the bottom, tab back. Def will give us the definition, 2 underscores. Now, this isn't going to be a built-in. This is going to be one that's going to be called. I'm going to have to pass itself. And we need the colon to say that we are done with that declaration. So we've got our size method. What is it that they want us to do? The method should return the array's logical size. Now, logical size is what we just declared, wasn't it? So let's get that logical size, including the self. And we'll go ahead and return self dot, well, it didn't copy the whole thing. Let's see if it goes this time. There it goes. Self dot logical size. So what have we done? We've done the first part. We declared the variable and initialized it to a value of 0. We defined a size method. In the len method, it should still return the array's capacity or physical size. Well, it does. Here, it does. It says returns the length, though we're not actually having to do anything there. Says go ahead and run the main to test it. Well, let's go ahead and run it, and by default it'll run in the main. Now, this object that we created has a physical size of 10. What was put in it? Nothing. So the physical size, 10. Logical size, there's nothing there, it's 0. And we look to see what's in there, none. There's nothing there. There's not null, there's none. Different values there. Okay. So with that said, it appears that we've done what we're supposed to do. Come over here and let's run our checks on it. We're all good. It worked the way we wanted it to work. Now, I know it sounds like I'm harping on the aspect that this is a list. It's made to look like an array, or we're treating it like an array. But the one thing that tells us that this is a list are these square braces right here. Square braces, that's the list. Okay? So, little things like that make a difference when we're trying to understand what something is. And you know what? I'm going to go one step further, just to make sure. What if I run it now? Type. Oop. There we go. Let's run it again. It is calling it an array. And why is it calling it an array? Well, because right here it's an instance of this class. It's an instance of the class array. So it is recognizing it by name as an array. Should have caught that. But we are still technically a list. Alright, gang. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I'll see you in the next video. We'll go ahead and stop this one and head to 4-2.